Welcome to the weekly Woodcast with Dennis and Michael Woodworth, and we have a special guest on Zoom conference today, all the way from Tallahassee, Mr. Andy Lee.
Niceville, Florida.
Oh, it's Niceville?
Yes, just north of Destin, 12 miles north of Destin.
Fantastic. Well, it's this is the only way we get to see each other is this kind of Zoom conference right now because of this wonderful COVID that we're dealing with. So, how are things down there anyway?
Great. Things are going really well. We sent the kids home yesterday. I won't see them again until January 4th when they'll report back. And our first game is January 22nd, hopefully. But I'm not complaining. The only thing I really miss is playing opponents this fall. But we've got a lot of work in and we're getting better. And, for someone that's just starting a new program, rebuilding a program, it's really, I hate it for the kids. I really do. But for me, it gives me more time to recruit.
I bet it does. Yeah, absolutely. You're starting from the ground up. So it's great to have that opportunity in some length of time. So, Andy, you have an extensive background, obviously, coaching women's softball, and you have a very decorated career so far. Why don't you just give our listeners some kind of an idea of, what you've done? You were, I think last year you were coach of the year, were you not? Was it last year or the year before?
Last year was the shortened year with the pandemic, so there was no awards.
Right.
But the year before that, I'd spent 11 years coaching at LSU Eunice. It's a sister school of LSU. It's just a 2-year branch of it.
Right.
And we're a junior college team. And we had won 6 national championships in the past 9 years. Had a great recruiting base, great parents, great leadership there. But it just kind of got to the point where after you'd win, I'd pretty much just put my head down in relief. It wasn't even, they were all celebrating and I was in the dugout picking up trash and balls and ready to get the bus going. Just a big relief. So, people came calling and I just always loved this area of the Panhandle of Florida and loved it. Just fell in love with the area and decided, it's time to start something new.
Well, we talk about this on our Woodcast with some of our hockey teams that come in here, is that your life has chapters in it, and you can't run your whole life by one chapter. It just can't happen, right? So this is another chapter in your life. It starts out with challenges, and then how you face those challenges usually dictates the kind of result that you possibly have. And with your success that you've had, you can kind of your pattern for success, your ingredients that you need, the work you have to put into it. There's going to be some different hills and valleys, but the bottom line is that the formula for success. So, but it's just time now, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So Division I junior college.
Yes, we are in it's the SEC West of junior colleges.
Yeah.
We're down here. We can offer a lot of scholarship money, a lot of baseball big time. And we had 3 guys at a 5-year shortened draft, 5-round shortened draft get drafted last year. We
Fantastic.
had Beckway went to the Yankees and 2 other guys that started here went off to Division I schools, ended up getting drafted. So, it's a place where a lot of kids want to come play. The weather's great. The community's great. It's tough competition. And, if we get through the Chipola's and the and the Tallahassee community colleges and we go off and play the Miami-Dades and the Florida Southwesterns and, it's a tough league.
Well, and women's softball, I spent a lot of time watching it when I was in Cuba in isolation. I know a lot of the players there. In fact, I know the player of the year 2 years ago very well out of Holguin, Cuba, Haiti Garcia. And we watch a lot of the games, and it's amazing how talented these women are. Really, the amount of work that they put into their game is incredible.
Oh, it is. You get kids that stay an hour or 2 after practice and hitting the cage. The game has grown so much. I remember 13 years ago when I first started, you maybe had 2 or 3 hitters you had to worry on every lineup to get through, and 1 pitcher. Now everyone can hit. Everyone's got hitting coaches. Everybody's talented. Everyone plays year round now. The game has changed so much. And I believe it's the fastest growing collegiate sport there is. More schools have been
no
adding
doubt in my mind
softball than anything. And I
well
believe the last 2 years, the College World Series on ESPN has outdrawn the baseball NCAA World Series in ratings, television ratings.
well I just watched like UCLA and just how dominant they've been over the last few years as a program. It's just been fantastic. But they're not the only team that's been dominant. There's been, and then you take those athletes and you put them on Team USA on an international scale. Like U.S. women's softball is just so dominating on a global scale, really.
Yeah, I see the same thing. There's some very talented young ladies out there that compete. And, I coached baseball high school for 2 years, junior college pitching coach baseball for 3 years. And, there's no, competitiveness is the exact same. I mean,
no question.
These kids just want to win, and they're fierce competitors.
Well, and the thing about it, like Noelvis Gonzalez, he was actually a coach on the national program in Cuba as well. And we talk about it all the time because we're very good friends. And the game is so fast. You even look at strategy, like you want more left-handed hitters because they can execute more things on the field in women's softball. Just being able to slap and do all the little things that can produce pressure on a defense is so dynamically different compared to baseball for sure.
Oh, yeah. That's one thing I love about it. It's quick, it's fast. I don't have to worry about pick to first, looking, holding base runners. It's just you go and you play and, you get 7 innings in and you're done.
Well, the games are fast too, right?
I'm not putting on a uniform anymore. That's one of my favorite things. I don't put a uniform on to third base.
Andy Lee, come on, man. Come on.
I could just wear my shorts and shirt, flip-flops, and let's go.
Oh, man. No, it is. It's a fast game that it's entertaining. There's passion and energy in the game. There's camaraderie with the players. It just it's a great product, and there's no
bonding is incredible. I mean, in baseball, it was all about I want to move on, I want to get drafted, all that kind of stuff. Girls, you get them on a roll and you get them together. I mean, win streaks are nothing. I mean, they can it's unbelievable how the confidence grows.
Well, I coached girls basketball a few years back. Women athletes are without a shadow of a doubt, very different. They're more complex. They're more caring. They're more emotional. They're more passionate. Absolutely. They just have a level of connectivity with their teammates that just, I don't know if anything rivals it, really.
You're right. Absolutely. And they're tough. I mean, injury-wise.
I guess they are.
I had a kid one time hit a home run, and she couldn't high-five me running around the base. Like, what's going on? And I go in the dugout, and she puts her hand, like, between her knees and just cracks her shoulder back in place, dislocated it, and just
wow.
I said, she goes, no, I'm going back out there. That's some kind of toughness some of these kids have.
Well, it's amazing because they are really fantastic athletes.
Oh, yeah.
You look at these women, they just do a phenomenal job. They're disciplined and they're pushed because they know the level of excellence is there. The program, the sport itself has grown so much that they know that for them to succeed in this arena, they have to bring their A game and have a level of excellence that's very high because they'll fall through the cracks. It just doesn't.
Yeah. And this pandemic's messing a lot of things up because they've already declared that at my level, they're giving every kid another year of eligibility back.
Wow.
And last year they gave a year of eligibility back. So I've got 4 high school classes or graduating classes competing for 2 years of scholarships. Yeah. And so it's so log jammed up. I mean, a lot of these Power 5 Division I schools, they'll have 35 kids on a roster. And in softball, you don't need 12, 14 pitchers. You just need 3 or 4, so it's just a big roster, and there's going to be a lot of people in the transfer portal, a lot of people coming down, and a lot of kids looking for a place to play. And then you got schools that are dropping programs and everything. So
yeah,
I hate it for the athlete right now.
Well, it's a difficult time for everybody, whether you're a business owner, whether you're an elderly. I mean, whether it's it's so difficult everywhere, and we have to be at our finest as a human race. We have to be
Yes.
compassionate to each other. We have to have empathy and patience, because it's just, if we don't, then, we're just destroying ourselves. That's the bottom line. And it's not easy.
Absolutely.
It's not easy. I mean, I'm a business owner myself, and it has not been easy, but you have to kind of find other paths or other ways to use your creativity and things like that. So it's just be empathetic to the situation and try to do our best. That's all we can do.
And hopefully we can ride this ship out until the vaccine gets out. And I know it's going to get a little worse before it gets better. And, hopefully we can get things back to normal. And I know they will.
I was talking to Michael about this today, is that we as a human race, hope is a big word for us. We're very optimistic and hopeful as a race. And I'm looking forward to seeing us at our finest. I really am.
Absolutely.
The other thing too is, I think that it gives us a time to put things in perspective: needs versus wants, how to help other people in society, in other countries. Like your dad and you have traveled to different countries with me. You come up to Canada and Newfoundland when the girls were here.
Oh yeah.
From Cuba, and then your dad has been with me all over the world, and it's you really see different things in the world to try to be part of a solution and not part of a problem.
And I've seen a lot of caring and a lot of compassion, and I've seen a lot of good come out lately. Might be just because I'm getting older and I'm seeing it more and looking for things and taking things in. But I have a really special group of young ladies this year, and everybody's all in to help each other and whatever they need. So I'm glad I have that.
My relationships with my players, female players, are very special, and I treat them like they're my little sisters, and I can't begin to express how much value they brought into my life. Hopefully I brought some into theirs as well, but they certainly have brought a lot to me. So I've always had a very special place in my heart for my athletes that are female. Not to talk down on the guys, because I've coached guys for 30 years, and there's some of them have been, my favorite people in the world. It's just that for whatever reason, female athletes just they're built different. They just are. They're built better in a lot of cases. I hate to say it, but they are, especially when it comes to the empathy side and compassion side, and they really are fantastic. And that's why I love the sport, watching it all the time. And I talked to your dad, and for those who don't know who your father is Bill Spaceman Lee, and I talked to him a lot about you and how you're doing and how you're succeeding, and he's very proud of you, and
he is.
We all are. I mean, we're all very pleased to how you're progressing. Now you played baseball early in your career before you started coaching.
My mom went into labor with me in Fenway Park, and ever since all I knew was put on my dad's left-handed glove and play ball. That's all I wanted to do, and so did the high school thing, and played junior college baseball, and I was a late bloomer. I think I graduated high school 5'11", 150, and by the time my freshman year of college, I was 6'1", 210.
Yeah.
And then that sophomore year, did well in junior college, went to Delta State University, a powerhouse Division II school, played 1 year in the Cape League, and that's where people saw me, and then I got picked up by the Red Sox, played 2 years in their minor league system, and then when they released me, it was like, oh gosh, what do I do now?
New chapter.
Yeah. So I was born. That's all I thought I was going to do, is be a baseball player, take after my dad. And so, started at the bottom, worked in a warehouse in the morning, volunteer coached in the afternoon, and then just stayed tough and worked through it. And then eventually good things happened, and, started moving up.
It's a great message to give to people that tend to always think their path leads to only one direction. And it's obvious that I mean, I tell people all the time, the meat grinder of Major League Baseball is huge. I mean, the amount of athletes that go in the funnel and the ones that come out the bottom, are just, the numbers are dramatically different. And it's nice to have that, that backup, because obviously, you had playing in school,
the biggest
college,
thing was I went back and got my degree.
Yeah, 100%.
During minor league I went back and took some classes in the fall and some correspondence stuff and got that. And then when I was coaching junior college baseball, I took grad classes and got my master's degree. And that opened up a lot of doors, because back in the old days, if you wanted to be a junior college baseball coach and whatever, you were pretty much 80% faculty. That was your part of your pay, and 20% coaching.
Exactly.
So you had to teach classes in the PE department, the wellness department, and all that type of stuff. So that opened up doors for me to stay. And so it's changed a little bit now. They don't really have those responsibilities, but I still teach 2 classes and I enjoy it. You know?
Well, what led you into women's softball? Like you said you were coaching baseball, and then what led you in that direction?
A child. I was working in the warehouse, not getting good. And then my ex-wife at the time, we had met in college, and she was a softball player, and she knew the coach, and she had been there like 26 years. They only won like 5 games, and she was ready to retire. She thought I'd be good at it. And, the macho in me was like, I'm not coaching girls. I'm a baseball guy, all this. So I turned it down the first year, and this next year, and I was about to have a child. And so I was like, I got to support this kid. So they found me a teaching job and told me I could coach softball, and I did it. And dads would make fun of me. I'd have an L screen up, and I'd be throwing BP overhand.
I love it.
We'd be doing baseball stuff, but we just worked hard, and I picked up things throughout, and then got into it, enjoyed it, and never. I mean, after about 6 months, I don't think I ever wanted to put on a baseball uniform again and coach it. So I enjoy softball that much. I love the game.
It's a highly competitive sport. I mean, it's just so quick and so responsive. Like it's bang bang almost everything in that game. Even a fly ball to the outfield is a bang bang play because the field is so short, right? So a line drive is a bang bang play all the time. So it's
like playing baseball in a matchbox. I mean, you just got to get rid of it. You can't. It's a very quick game.
Yeah, like a third baseman, a slap hit from a left-handed hitter to the third baseman, just bang, 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 and it's it's at first base. It's no time.
You let it bounce twice.
Oh, it's over. Yeah. And I've grown a lot of respect for the game. Obviously, with you coaching it, but also the players that I work with in other countries and learning from them and watching what they do every day. Really gives me a great amount of respect for the game, big time. Now, you're not going to convert me, Andy. I don't think you're going to convert me. Maybe someday you will, but not right now. But I certainly can tell you that I enjoy the game. I really do. And so kids from Canada, if we have a lot of athletes that play softball.
Oh, yeah. I went and did a camp one time in near Calgary. And there was probably 200 kids there. I spent the whole week. It was a great week, bunch of college coaches, and there's some great kids. I always told myself I could get 9 Canadians. I mean, they're the most, yes, sir. They listen, they absorb, you tell them, and they try to do it. I mean, if I could find 9 athletes, I could win. I mean, it'd be awesome. I mean, they're super athletic, strong. It's a market I would love to get into. Well, and I'm starting to get some emails, and there's some recruiting coordinators that are, it's just now with the borders closed and all that, it's very tough to see them live.
I think you're going to see, it's all about relationships too. You know that. I mean, it's building relationships. And one of the reasons why I like to bring you on the podcast is to make, female athletes aware that, women's softball is an option. If you're playing it, I know that we had a group come from New Brunswick with Rob Moore and his group out of New Brunswick last year on the Caribbean Goodwill Tours, and they played phenomenally well, and they were like 14, 15 years old. So I'm certainly going to be having him in contact with you, because those athletes need to have opportunities to, if they can't play the game in Canada, which in a lot of cases female softball just doesn't exist in programs and universities, and if they want to continue to play, there's an opportunity. And Carmel Klassen is another one, a parent out in British Columbia, that they have a strong softball program out there. And those kids deserve an opportunity to be able to continue to play if they want to. So, yeah, absolutely.
They do. And I know over in the Vancouver area, there's some big club balls.
Abbotsford and Vancouver, and no, they're very competitive. I mean, on an international scale, besides the U.S. and Japan, Canada is right there. You know,
most definitely.
It seems to be that they're ranked either 2 or 3 behind the U.S. program, and Japan is such a different team compared to anybody else. Talk about just the Japanese style of women's softball. It's so dramatically different.
Yeah, I mean, they practice like the guys do. You know, it's a 40-hour work week, and they get after it. And you know, and the international rules are different than the collegiate rules. In international rules, you can do that crow hop and jump, you know, pitching wise and that kind of stuff. You know, in collegiate, they have to have both field, you know, a foot at least grounded at all time when they pitch. But you know, I've seen the Chinese play on TV, and you know, it's unbelievable how precise they are and how, you know, they don't make mistakes. I mean, defensively, whatever, they are just a machine when it comes to fundamentals.
Well, repetition work is a big part of any sport. It doesn't matter if you play basketball. It doesn't matter if you shoot hockey pucks, or it doesn't matter. Repetition work creates excellence.
Oh yeah, I tell people, you know.
Now, some of the
kid with a bad swing, but if you give them 1,000 cuts a day,
100%
swing, they'll hit the ball. So,
it's going to change the result. There's no question.
Yeah.
For me, some of the female softball players in the United States athletically are off the charts. I mean, there are some women that are incredibly, especially the pitching staff, strong. Either they're built from the foundation with strong hips and a bigger bottom end, or they're long and lean, which gives them length, obviously, to create that velocity. But to throw a softball as fast as they do, I don't know if a male baseball player could come close to even touching these female pitchers.
Oh, I know, and they can make it go up or down. In baseball, you can pretty much just make it go down and left and right. They can make it go every way. So
you've got a riser, you've got a changeup, you've got a curveball, drop ball, fastball, 4-seam, 2-seam.
Yeah.
There's just so many different pitches that you can execute. I actually watched a couple pitching videos, 3 or 4 really good ones from one of the top female pitchers of all time in Team USA, and it was just amazing to see the hand release and where you let go of the ball. So the hand release and where the ball is released is so incredibly important to make that ball move.
Mm-hmm.
And it's magical. It really is. Like sometimes to see it, that's why the games are not, 14-12. When it's pitched well, they're low scoring games and fast.
Yeah, and they've changed rules because back in the old days it would be a lot of 0-0, 1-0 games, and they put in that international tiebreaker like they did in baseball.
I love it.
To try to speed the game up. I do too.
So the new program,
it's been around and it's been successful. It's a really big basketball school, really big baseball and softball school. They just love athletics here, and they support and they want you to win, and they'll give you, every opportunity and thing you need if you can justify it. But they had been a little down, went through a coaching transition, had an interim coach. But they've got great facilities. We just built a brand new 100 by 120 foot indoor air conditioned, climate controlled indoor hitting facility. We got a great area, down south, everyone plays year round, close to, the Tampa area can go recruit from. I got Birmingham, Alabama, Georgia, and there always seems to be really top athletes come out of these southern states. So
that's what I tried to talk to one of my players about. His name is Zach Zink. He's a baseball player, and he's actually playing in Florida right now. And it's to be able to play all year round is a huge advantage. I don't care. I don't care what you say. And if you have 12 months versus 6 months, it's just a completely different game, right?
And we notice that when we have teams that come down for spring break and they've been in Michigan and haven't been on the field, and you can't substitute live pitching and ground balls. You can't do that in the gym.
No.
I mean, you can do work, but you just can't the game speed you can't replicate. So we have a big advantage when it comes to that weather. We could do that year round.
So your goals as a coach in the program?
Always, I think if you put things in perspective, and my number one goal is just to get quality kids that graduate and move on and become good people and good mothers.
I love it.
Yeah, and all that. That's the main thing. And usually, if you recruit quality kids and they do good things, you get a good kid in the classroom, they're going to be good, work hard on the field.
Amen.
And so and we work hard every day and we compete, and and usually things go, follow suit and the wins follow. So
if you build winners, the winning takes care of itself.
Absolutely.
The key is that the teams that try to fake it till they make it, they just don't last.
You're right. And that's the hardest thing I've learned. I mean, you can have a great season and win one and stuff like that, but the hardest thing is maintaining and staying up top and winning. And, it's just, you got to recruit every day. You got to practice that. You can't just get satisfied with, oh, we won this year. Let's just, this year's nothing. You got to keep that drive constant.
Well, and it goes back to what you said just a few minutes ago, is that you create good people, then they leave the school and they become productive people in society.
Yeah.
And that's really what we need. We need more of that. We need more of that.
And it helps me in recruiting also. I mean, I can get a call from, LSU's coach or whatever, other coaches and all that, and they know my kids are prepared and they're good kids, and and they know how to win, and they and it's easier to sell a kid when you've sent a kid that does everything right in the classroom and does everything, and and they could pretty much take your word on it.
Well, it's nice because then you also feel like we talked about earlier, a big brother. You really want to see your little sisters advance in life, get opportunities, and then you feel like you've contributed in a way through their journey and their path, right?
Absolutely.
So, living in a new community, you've moved. It's been, how long have you been living in your new community now?
I came not this past July, but the July before, and it's a great place to live. We're surrounded by the largest Air Force base in the world, Eglin Air Force Base. So it's kind of landlocked. There's over 800,000 acres of military land right here. And then we're on the north end bay of Destin Beach, Fort Walton Beach, Destin, and then Panama City. We're right there. And I just love the community. There's always things to do. If it's been a long day or whatever, I can just go down, watch the sunset, bring my little fishing pole, stick in the ground, and just relax. And so
that was one of the first videos I ever watched of you, Andy, was you and your dad fishing in that river that time. How old were you there? Like 4 or 5?
Yeah, my stepmom sent me that, and I had never seen that. And that was a couple years ago. I must have been 4, something like that. Amazing. We grew up in Washington State.
Yeah,
and it just
little Andy Lee. Not so little anymore.
No, I mean, geez, my brother turned 50 the other day.
It's amazing, right? It's amazing.
It is amazing how fast time goes, and
it's hard to believe.
And the clock winds faster and faster every year.
Well, and that's why you have to create these memories that we're doing.
Yes.
It's you get one shot at this, and if you give your absolute best effort and you legitimately try to contribute to what you're doing in a positive way, then the results will speak for themselves. It's when it's just so many people in society, Andy, just home to work, looking forward to 2 weeks a year to go on vacation. It's not living, right?
It's not. And that's why I love every morning I wake up, I feel like I'm really not working. I mean, I love working on my field. Yeah. I love, interacting with people and seeing them grow and graduate. And, when first they can't hit an outside pitch, next thing you know, you see them driving opposite one hopper off the wall and seeing a smile on their face when they achieve that and stuff. I enjoyed the process.
Well,
I really do enjoy the process.
There's another great word, process. I mean, you have job, career, then purpose, and you're really in the purpose part of your life, which really we don't mind working in those parts of our lives because we love what we're doing. And there's so many people that don't get that opportunity. So it's just a blessing to be able to have those opportunities like you have. And you know, hey, kudos to you, man, because you're doing a great job. And
well, thank you, Dennis. It means a lot. Thank you.
Very pleased. And a lot of our girls that we're in Newfoundland, we're always paying attention and seeing what's going on in Andy Lee's life, because you're really leading a lot of strong young women to be productive people in society for sure.
Yeah, and on Facebook, I still stay in touch with that family that housed us, and she always comments on stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. It's building relationships all over the world, and it's nice because you've taken what you thought would be your love for baseball, and it threw you a curveball, man. And the curveball was a good pitch because you're in a good place.
Absolutely.
You know, so we're looking forward to continuing to watch your progress. And if there's any female players out there that have an interest, you know, reach out to us on the Weekly Woodcast, and we'll definitely
shoot me an email and
send
me a skills video, send me a schedule, and you know, I'm all for going to find talent.
Well, the nice thing about it is with technology today, you can evaluate talent. You don't have to drive 1,000,000 miles to go. Now, sometimes it's important, because you and I both know that seeing a live game sometimes is so much more valuable. But, you know, if you had to fly 3,000 miles to see someone, just one player, sometimes it doesn't fit in the budget, right? So having that video analysis that you can use to evaluate talent really helps.
And the metrics and stuff.
Absolutely.
Help.
So we're really hopeful. That's the word I guess I would use. We're very hopeful that we can see you start playing again in January. And I'm very hopeful that when all of this stuff comes to normal, that maybe I take a little road trip down to Florida and watch you.
It's beautiful. I promise you're going to want to stay.
Oh, dude.
It's a great area.
Yeah. No, I look forward to
the Emerald Coast, the nice emerald colored water and the white sand.
All I have to do is pick up your father on the way, and we'll be there. You don't have to worry about it.
The old Buick pulls up. It might just pull up.
I am not going in the Buick, man. Not a chance. We'll go in my 2017 Mazda CX-5 rather than the Buick. So even though the Buick's a classic, because that car has driven, I don't even know how many miles it's driven.
Oh my gosh, it's unbelievable. It's been to the tip of Newfoundland.
Oh yeah,
down to
out west,
Keys,
out in Iowa.
California,
it's been everywhere.
British Columbia. It's been everywhere.
Yeah, I mean it's a story. If that could tell stories, I mean the Buick itself would be a great book to read for sure.
Yes.
Speaking of that, your dad just released another book just recently that we actually talked to him about on the podcast.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Is it his poetry stuff?
No poetry, just more story based, and he's got a lot of stories to tell. So we.
He does.
Oh, what a life!
He'll tell anybody too.
Will he ever? It's amazing, and it's
let's leave. He'll be talking to anybody will talk to him. He'll talk to them and tell them stories.
Yeah, he's quite the character.
But there's no bigger ambassador. I've never met a person that loves the game more than my dad does.
100%.
People, and it's just
it's awesome Right now, I'm actually working to try to get him in the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame, just because of not only playing for the Expos, but his humanitarian work.
He's done more for Canada baseball than most. It's unbelievable.
Just the kids alone that have participated in our program to be a part of what he's been in has been invaluable. So I'm looking forward to it for sure. Listen, man, let's stay in touch. I love hearing from you.
Thank you, Dennis.
Good luck with all that's taking place right now, and I hope to see you live one day, let's say in the next 12 months or so. I will take that road trip with your dad, and we will come see you in Florida, man. I promise that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
All right, Andy Lee on the Weekly Woodcast. Thanks for dropping in, and we'll look forward to talking to you next time. Take care.
Hey, Dennis. Bye.